Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the fusion category SBR and how you can complete it no item. So obviously as part of the no item run series we're now into the second set of SBR, and this is technically the first category SBR, with the first two being extreme class and super class. This is kind of the first category, and fusion is a pretty nice category. I think it's an interesting one to build around. It does need some buffs, weirdly enough. It's got some really great units and then some kind of not so great units. I think personally for me, I've left a little bit off the table here, just because when we get to the ESBR I kind of don't want to use the same teams. So I've used kind of like a reduced down or slightly different team to what I'd use for ESBR, as I do with most of my SBR. But honestly speaking, this team is more than fine. In terms of lead, we've gone with the physical Goku and Vegeta, who are just a great unit in general. They have pretty high stats. They're 180% lead, and overall they're just a lot of fun to kind of work with. So we've gone with them as they seem to be a pretty decent force in terms of causing damage and getting things done. We also have the Tech SS4 Gogeta, also a really solid unit. Fusion category lead of 170%, with his greatly raising attack and defense for one turn, and his debuffing to extreme class enemies. He's pretty powerful in this stage. He also has that high chance of attacks being effective against all types, and he also has a great chance of evading the enemy's super attack, which does come in handy. So he's a pretty strong unit from that perspective, and overall he's a really nice option to run. Ideally I would choose a physical SS4 Gogeta, or Goku and Vegeta, the transforming unit, as a friend lead, but I decided to kind of just go with the double like physical Goku and Vegeta, just because why not. Then in terms of the rest of the team, we have the Tech LR Gogeta, also a pretty interesting unit, I think, pretty fun unit, lots of good kind of abilities. And yeah, there's obviously the transformation that we don't really use too much, but just in general pretty solid. 30% attack or damage reduction, raising of attack and defense on both of their supers, and obviously that additional key generation. They're just a very reliable, fairly tanky unit that can just carry a lot of the workload, and if you do transform them, they can tend to be pretty solid. Just depends on how much health we have remaining. Alongside all of these, we have the Chowman and the Whirus, who we're running as a combo. Both of them are obviously Dragon Ball Fusions characters, and both are pretty solid, I would say. They raise, well, Chowman is pretty decent, attack of 100%, defense of 200%. He obviously can do some pretty high damage, especially when your HP is 50% or less, as you can see here. Some pretty crazy damage, which is obviously always pretty good. The only issue is he does sacrifice HP, which isn't the best when you're trying to do a no item run, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. So pretty good stuff from Chowman, I think. Overall, just a pretty good unit to run, realistically speaking. So yeah, we've got Chowman, we've got alongside him Whirus. Whirus being just a great unit in general. A double orb changer. He's also a fusion or realm of the gods category support with 3 or more key spheres obtained. He has a high chance of evading the enemy's attack with 5 or more key spheres obtained, and he has an additional attack and defense of 70% when attacking with 7 or more key spheres obtained. Because he changes so many orbs, getting 7 orbs with him is pretty much always reliable, and he just looks really, really good. So personally speaking, I really like Whirus. I think he does a great job, and he's really fun to kind of just run alongside Chowman and just kind of have them be a very good duo. And then the final unit that we're using is the Int SS4 Gogeta. Obviously a unit that's pretty cool, was pretty good when he came out. I think has aged a tiny bit. You do need dupes in him now to be as good as he was, but he is pretty good still. Attack and defense of 200%, key plus 4, plus an additional attack and defense of 40%, and attacks effective against all types for the first 8 turns of battle, which is really solid. And then he has a high chance of attacks being effective against all types. Starting from the 9th turn, he also has a high chance of evading enemy supers and countering with tremendous power, which is obviously super duper helpful. His active skill gives him attack and defense of 40% and all enemies attack and defense of minus 40% for 1 turn. So pretty solid stuff, I would say. Overall, he does also greatly raise attack and defense as well for 1 turn, which is pretty helpful. And yeah, in general, he's just pretty solid. I think overall, he's not as good as he used to be. He still is really good if you can get him under a 200% lead. If you've got a couple of dupes in him, he can still definitely do a very good job. So no disrespect to him, and he does do some really, really solid damage. And after super, he still has really high defense, so still a really solid unit, at least for me overall, and a pretty fun unit to still run. So yeah, in general, the team, I would say, is pretty good. Obviously, there's some headlining units missing that I would say. We're not using the strongest friend lead. Obviously, the physical, SS4, Goku, and Vegeta, I think, are really where I would say the best friend leaders, being a fused fighters lead. You can run them alongside the tech SS4 Gogeta, and it starts to look a little bit better. And then there's still some crucial units that I think are missing. You can run combo pairings like Jinembu, Kulieza. You can run Jinembu with Weirus, which I think is a very good combo. You've got Pandel, you've got Bulpan, both very, very solid units that can run incredibly well together, as well. So there's a lot of kind of different options, so to say. Like if we look at Bulpan, she and Pandel are very, very powerful combo, and they could definitely be a lot more useful in maybe the ESBR, because Bulpan with the high chance to guard, Pandel with the whole high chance of evasion, all pretty good stuff. And also they buff each other, decent linking. It's definitely, I would say got quite a few options in terms of your units, in terms of the teams, etc. But yeah, overall I would say pretty good stuff. I'm pretty happy with the team in general. I think they do a great job. I think they are really, really strong, and I do think they do tend to be a pretty fun and pretty reliable team for the most part. I think in general this SBR stage is still relatively challenging. As you can see, the health still got a little bit low. A lot of that is due to Chowman just constantly consuming our health, but also the team doesn't have a lot of regen mechanics, so you do need to be aware of that. Obviously you can change that with your team build, Pandel, Bulpan. You could bring units like the Super Saiyan Go tanks and Goes. There's plenty of options to work around that. Maybe we'll see some of those in the next run, the ESBR run. But yeah, overall pretty chuffed, pretty happy with the team, and pretty happy with how well they did. But that's basically going to be it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, obviously you can leave a like. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next one. So until then, take care, stay safe, and if you need any help, list in the comments below. Bye.